Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first Coffeehouse of the new decade, which means we've been doing this for 3 decades, if you go back into the 2000 aughts, is that what they're called? Just to tell you about the next show that we have, which maybe we won't have it. March 7th, we have a band called the Porch Mamas. Porch Party Mamas. Thank you, Eric, for correcting me. And they're a bunch of songwriters that collaborate and sound really good, so please check that one out. So my name's Ralph DeFlorio, and I usually have a tradition here of starting with a little poetry of some kind, and usually the middle show, the winter one, I try to string together a few haikus that just reflect things that I've been thinking about. So this one comes in 4 different parts. There's 4 sections. First one is about winter, and it's late January. Winter's vortex taking hold. Seems there's no way out. Hold on. But hold on. February is just a few sniffles away. The edge. But then we get those bitter March winds blasting through, pushing us to the edge. Bam. And when the weeks feel like years and months are like decades, but then bam, spring comes along. Now I have to give you part 2, which is the New England Sports Report. Super Bowl next Sunday? I guess so, but why are the Patriots at home? Brady? Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Brady, Tom. Soon to be long gone. That thing. Hey, Alex Cora. It's almost spring training. Oh yeah, right, that thing. Washington, D.C. blues. This is part 3. Peach and mint. Take a peach, add mint, mix them together, and then you have impeachment. That's my bad pun, I'm sorry. See the president's lips moving? Every time, that's what lying looks like. Milk. Senators drinking milk and walking that party line, swallowing hard. Dare. No witnesses, no documents. Will anyone dare to do the right thing? Part 4, make your spirit right. I can't leave in Washington, you know. Wrapped in love. This is why we need music. It is wrapped in love and makes your spirit right. Trouble aside. Put trouble aside. Snap your fingers, tap your feet. We got hot swing tunes. Hey, hey, Swing Cafe. It's about to play and make those blues go away. We have a fantastic band, folks. You're going to just be tapping your feet in about 10 seconds after they start playing. Welcome to Swing Cafe.
Good evening, folks. So great to see you here on this spring-like winter night here. Don't be fooled by the mandolin. It's not a bluegrass band. I introduce the wonderful Billy Novick on horns to our left there. Peter Tillotson on bass. My high school classmate on vocals and guitar, Ted Powers. 25-year veteran of the Air Force Jazz Band, Mr. Steve Rose on drums.
And you are?
Oh, I'm Eric Kilburn.
There's, you know, if you feel the spirit, there's a little room to dance there, and there's room to dance there. There's a little room to dance right here. All right, are we ready? All right. 1, 2, oh, Bill, the wonderful Bill.
Yes.
You're right in on it,
Yeah.
right? 1, 2, 1, 2. All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see, no good without you. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Take my lips, wanna lose them. No goodbye, left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on dear without you? You took the part that once was my heart. Why not take all of me? Yeah. Yeah, all of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see, no good without you. Take my arms, never use them. Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on dear without you? You took the part that once was my heart. Why not take all of? Why not take all of? Why not take all of me? That was the highly caffeinated tempo right there. More coffee.
You might be the soberest audience we've ever played to.
All right, Gloria Love. Yeah. You got to give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You got to laugh a little, cry a little, let the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Long as there's two of us, got the world and all its charm. When the world is each other's arms. You got to win a little, lose a little, always have those blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Got each other's arms. You got to win a little, lose a little, always have those blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory, that's the story of, that's the glory, that's the story of, that's the glory of love. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is a tune that the Andrews Sisters had a hit with back in the 1940s, I think. It's based on an old Yiddish tune. They called their version Bei mir bist du schön. It sounds like I'm bragging when I say of all the girls I've known, and I've known some, but...
Both of them?
Thanks, Bill.
This is the intro from the song.
I know, we're not even into the tune. All the girls I've known, and I've known some too. Before I first met you, I was lonesome. When you came in sight, dear, my heart grew light. This whole world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I have to admit you. It's an expression that really fits you. So I've racked my brain open to explain all the things that you do to me. But me, Mr. Shane, please let me explain. Like me, Mr. Shane means that you're grand. Again and again, like me, Mr. Shane, it means you're the fairest in the land. I can see Bella, even sailing the bar, slang so many girls would say how grand that you are. I tried to explain, I'm me, Mr. Shane, so kiss me and say you'll understand. Like me, Mr. Shane, please let me explain. Like me, Mr. Shane means that you're grand. Again and again, like me, Mr. Shane, it means you're the fairest in the land. I can say Bella, Bella, even sailing the bar, slang it so it helps me say how grand that you are. I try to explain, like me, Mr. Shane, so kiss me, say you'll understand. I'm trying just to shame about me, Mr. Shane, so kiss me, say you'll understand. Thank you. Thank you.
This is an old song called Don't Blame Me. And pretty much all the songs we do today are old, so we don't even have to say that word, I suppose, when we introduce the tunes. But I like this song especially because I'm married to a woman who dumped me 3 times before she agreed to marry me. And there's been other songs written about that as well, but this one is from the 20s, and it says, just, I can't help it. You know, you're irresistible. So here we go. Don't blame me for falling in love with you. I'm under your spell. How can I help it? Don't blame me. Can't you see when you do the things you do? I can't conceal the way that I'm feeling. Don't blame me. Well, I can't help it if that doggone moon up above a kiss can be. But blame all your charms that melt in my arms, but don't blame me. Oh, I can't help it if that doggone moon up above makes me need someone like you to blame your kiss. As sweet as a kiss can be. Blame all your charms that melt in my arms, but don't blame me.
That was beautiful, Eric. That was beautiful. It never sounded that sweet when we had our high school band.
No, I didn't. I certainly didn't.
We had a band in high school. We were terrible. We had to change the name of our band after every jump.
You start out as Tornado Teddy and the Twisters.
The Twisters quit.
We're going to play a song that starts off with a TV show theme from the 60s. Maybe some of you can remember staying home from school and watching this show in the morning. And finish it with a Django Reinhardt tune called Swing 42. One, two, three. Let's start that again.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes Ted and I play bar gigs where we're the only two guys and we play a lot of tunes that involve harmonies. And this is one of the tunes we love playing. It's an Everly Brothers tune called All I Have to Do Is Dream.
All right, right in on it? Okay. Dweem, dweem, dweem. 1, 2, 3. Dream, dream, dream. Dream, dream, dream. When I want you in my arms and I want you and all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue in the night and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I could make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so, I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. I could make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so, I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream. Thank you. Thank you.
You may have noticed that if there's a solo section of a song, I usually play first and then Billy plays second. That's because I figured out early in the band's history that after Billy was done playing, there were no good notes left. Billy Novick on the horns. Both of these guys played in countless GB bands in their life, so that little bit there was from there. This is a song, classic early R&B song called Route 66. One, two, three.
Well, if you ever plan to border west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You see, Amarillo, down to Mexico, thanks to Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hit this time of year? We made that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, down to Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Cape, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this time of day? Make that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. Yeah, get your kicks on Route 66. Well, get your kicks on Route 66. Steve Rose on the drums. Yeah, it looks like he's not paying attention at all, but he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Ted, it's Sway.
Oh. Hang on to your hats. Anybody got a hat on? We're going to channel the great, legendary Dean Martin. Rebel. I don't even know how we start this song. I know we say something about Dean Martin.
That's good.
Yeah, that's right. We're at the Flamenco on the Strip. Las Vegas, baby. When marimba rhythm starts, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a fire in the breeze, bend with ease, sway with me. When we dance, you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me. And all the dancers may be on the floor, till in my eyes will see only you. Only you have the magic technique. When we sway I go weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make the thrillers only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. All the dancers may be on the floor, deep in my eyes will see only you. Only you have the magic technique. When we sway I go weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrillers only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me down. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrillers only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me sway only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Hey!
Ted Powers.
Thank you.
Setting hearts on fire since 1973. That's our PG-13 song for the night. Doesn't get any worse than that. We'd like to play you a song from a failed audition. Not our audition, but another band. And this happened around 1962. And the band wanted to get onto one of the British labels. And the British label rejected them because they felt that guitar bands were a thing of the past. And, you know, that they were entitled to their opinion. And we liked the song, so we thought we'd do it for you here.
The one after 909. One. Let's see. Well, baby, since you're traveling one after 909, I said, move on, honey. I'm traveling on that line. I said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Since you're driving on the one after 909. Well, I beg you to go, finger on my bended knee. I think you're only fooling round with me. I said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Says she's driving on the one after 909. Well, I got my bag. I run to the station. the wrong location. I got my bag and I run right home. Then I find I got the number wrong. Well, since you're traveling on the one after 99, I said move over, honey, traveling on that line. I said move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold times. Since you're traveling on the one after 99.
Song for you this set and come back in a little bit. I'm going to open the second set with a solo folk set. So this band has a stealth folk singer in it that I asked if I could sneak in a couple of tunes off my new album, and Peter was kind enough to agree. And I want to thank Ralph and Peter and Mike on sound. The whole band really appreciates your doing sound for us, and Mike and everything else. Thanks for making this happen tonight. Louis Jordan was a saxophone player who figured out he could make more money as a band leader and singer in the early 40s, and he wrote a lot of songs that have become small standards in the jazz community. Ain't Nobody Here But Us Chickens is one of his tunes, and he's got a song called Saturday Night Fish Fry, which is a big tune down in New Orleans, and a bunch of other tunes, and this is a tune of his that we love, about a band with 5 guys all with the same name. Dig me, Jack, there's Big Mo, doody-da-da-da, Little Mo, doody-da-da-da, Four-eyed Mo, doody-da-da-da, No Mo, doody-da-da-da, look at brother, look at brother, look at brother, he goes, mama, 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 oh yeah. Who's the greatest band around? Makes the cats jump up and down. Who's the talk of that rhythm town? 5 guys stick both. When they start to beat it out, everybody starts to jump and shout. Who do the critics rave about? 5 guys stick both. They came out of nowhere. That don't mean a thing. They rate high. You know why?
Five guys named Mo. Guys named Mo. They came out of nowhere. That don't mean a thing. They rate high. You know why? When you hear them sing, yeah. Highbrow, lowbrow, all agree. They're the tops in harmony. I'm telling you, folks, you just gotta see. Five guys named Mo. That's right. Five guys named Mo. Five little guys named Mo. Thank you very much. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stick around.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I don't have any poems for you, but I have something much better, which I get to introduce my friend Eric Kilburn, who you've heard play some fabulous mandolin. Eric, by the way, a little trivia note, used to be a member of our church here a number of years ago. And he's, what I like about Eric is a lot of things, but he's one of the people I could actually have some conversations about old-time baseball, and an intelligent conversation about old-time baseball, baseball history, that is. And I had, Eric is just incredibly talented. You've heard him on mandolin, and you're going to hear an old Martin that he can really make some beautiful sounds. Eric also has a recording studio, a fabulous place called Wellspring in Acton, and he's been involved in recording over, I think the number is like over 800 CDs in different ways, and I had the honor of doing my CD a couple years ago, and he played mandolin on it. It was really cool. But Eric took a little break from recording himself, and I am so glad after hearing his new CD, which he'll tell you about, that he decided to step back into the performing, and he's had some great success. His new CD, by the way, is for sale here, and you can pick it up on the way out. And it's just a fabulous piece from beginning to end. I won't tell you too much about it, let him do that, but it's just a beautiful piece of work. So welcome for a mini set, Eric Kilburn.
This is a song about the passage of time. Excuse me while I disappear. Everything's okay, but my mind's not here. I made the station just in time to punch my ticket on the memory line. Was it some not quite forgotten tune? Was it a picture, a place, or a phase of the moon? You can ride for a long, long time, from stop to stop on the memory line. This time runs like a freight train. The gears turn in a dream, and lifetimes sparkle like stars in the sky and move on so long, so long. goodbye. Perhaps when I grow up someday, is what my daddy used to say. We saw the twinkle in his eyes. There was so much we didn't realize, like maybe we didn't have to grow old. Maybe it was just some lie we were told. You can always go back in time, long as you got a seat on the memory line. As time runs like a freight train, years turn in a dream. Lifetimes sparkle like stars in the sky and move on so long, so long. Goodbye. These ghosts of the past keep tugging at my sleeve. And echoes of a childhood. And do we ever really leave? Excuse me while I slip away. Something I heard my preacher say. She said you can't go back this time. It's a one-way ride on the memory line. So I get up each morning and I try to face a world that's changed at such a pace. I think I'm already left behind, standing at the station on the memory line. As time runs like a freight train, years turn in a dream, and lifetimes sparkle like stars in the sky and move on so long, so long. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Thank you. So yeah, I took a little sabbatical from performing. I was pretty much making my living playing folk music in the late '80s, traveling around the eastern half of the country, and then my wife got pregnant, and I thought, I don't know any folk singers that have children that are full-time folk singers that are still married. And I really liked the woman I was married to, and I really liked the children I was hoping to raise. And so I kind of said, okay, that was fun. And I started trying to do other things, which ended up with the recording studio. And so this album starts out with songs. One of the first songs in the record, the song I just played was the first song. And then the next song is me talking to my unborn child in my wife's womb. And the last song on the record is me realizing that I'm the oldest guy at the Thanksgiving table. So it's kind of a concept album. And I submitted a couple of the songs I'm going to play for you tonight to the Kerrville Folk Festival this past spring, and it's a sort of an annual songwriting festival of 17 days in Texas, and they get 800 applicants and they pick 32. And I got to be one of the 32, which was really, thank you, it was really fun. It was really a kind of an amazing experience. I thought Texas was all rednecks, and it was just a really sweet, beautiful time. I was down there for 5 days. But this is a tune I wrote from where the album title comes from. This is called Wait a Minute. Maybe it was love, maybe something else. Still my parents tried to give me some help, but when they said don't, it just made me want to do it. I saw that light socket, I stuck my hand into it, and I felt a funny feeling right up to my brain. Next thing I remember, Mama's trying to explain. She said, wait a minute, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And I said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and I do. In my teenage years, you couldn't make me admit that my parents existed, or that they ever did, like the time she and I were lying on the floor, doing things I'd never done before, when all of a sudden, there's a light in the room, and they were home early, they were home too soon. They said, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And we said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. In the summer in the woods, me and my friends got loose on the wine I made from Welch's grape juice. It was a reddish-brown ooze, it bubbled in the cup. We all drank a quart, then we all threw up. And though most of us were better, by the next day, my friend Jimmy, he heard his old man say, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I've done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And Jimmy said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and he do. I'm happy to share that exclusive recipe with you tonight, folks, in case you're interested. You get an old Clorox bottle, you rinse it out, you put a gallon of water in there with a 12-ounce can of Welch's grape juice concentrate, a pound of sugar, nothing but the finest Fleischmann's baking yeast. You shake it all up, get a balloon, rubber band it to the top of the bottle. That's your sterile fermentation lock. And it fills up with some kind of gas. And rumor is it's carbon dioxide. After a couple of weeks, it stops making gas, and if you drink it and you don't die, it's wine. True story. Some of us went to work, some went on in school. Sometimes we must have acted like such total fools. We were following gurus and reading funny books, talking mantras and chakras, and getting funny looks at the Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody said to eat, and we said, it's really wrong to eat meat. And they said, wait a minute, son. This is one dumb thing I have never done, but let me save you some time. Let me give you a break. And we said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. And now we're growing older, and we got wedding rings, and we got little babies, and lots of other things, and we still want our children to be better than us. Things have not changed all that much, 'cause folks are gonna whisper in their little one's ear, and the child will pretend, but they don't really hear us say, wait a minute, daughter, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And they say, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and they do. And we do. So this is a tune I'll leave you with here. This is a tune that I wrote in the summer of 2018 when my wife and I started talking about Thanksgiving supper, which we'd always hosted at our house for several years. And I realized at the time that I was going to be the oldest man at the table, which didn't sit too well for me, because I think holiday meals are really a time that young guys, speaking only for myself, probably women too, you're watching your elders. You're learning kind of what it means to be an adult. And I remember being 7 or 8 years old, and I knew there were jokes being told that I didn't understand, between my father and his brother and my other uncle. And so this is a song that kind of came from that, from thinking about that. It's called Tall Tree. And thanks for listening to me. The band will be up in just a second. Looking at the man at the head of the table, saying grace with a natural ease. cutting turkey, cracking jokes with my uncles. These men like tall oak trees. Everyone's on their best behavior. Steer clear of politics and race. Your cousin's got a new black boyfriend. Don't mention that to your uncle's face. And I never dreamed a day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. These men were all sons of the Midwest. Their work and family was all they knew. Never talked much about their own lives, but they wanted to know about you. They were men you could always rely on. I thought it would never change. Now one by one they've all gone on, and the table looks so strange. For I never dreamed a day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. The clan is gathered and we're holding hands. I gaze across at every face, looking at the man at the head of the table, as I bow my head in thanks and for grace. This family's not a Rockwell painting. There are struggles and there have been fights. But when I think of the strength we've come from, I'm pretty sure we'll be all right. My sister's playing piano as the children call the tunes. I still feel like I'm 8 years old, but I'm the oldest man in the room. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'd like to bring on a band I know pretty well. Would you please welcome back Swing Cafe?
Shall we? Yeah? 1, 2, 1. Hey, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, come on, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, get a rock and roll, feel it in your bones, and tap on your toes and get going, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, a little shoe shine boy never gets slowed down. something gets true. Well, I asked him what shall I choose, how to keep from getting the blues. Then he raised his little head, he grabbed the shoe shine rag, and then he said, get rhythm. If you get the blues, come on, get rhythm. When you get the blues, a little jump in the beat that makes you feel so fine. Takes all of your worries, all your trouble of mind. Get rhythm. When you get the blues. Get rhythm. When you get the blues, come on, get rhythm. When you get the blues, get rock and roll, feel it in your bones, the taps on your toes, and get gone, get rhythm. When you get the blues. Well, I said and I listened to the shoe shine boy, and I thought that I was a jumping toy. Slapped on shoe polish left and right, he got the shoe shine ringing and I held it tight. He stopped once to wipe the sweat away. He said, you mind a little boy to be working that way? He said, I like it with a big white grin. He kept on popping and he said again, get rhythm. When you get the blues, come on, get rhythm. When you get the blues, it only costs a dime, just a nickel a shoe. It costs $1 million with the good for you. Get rhythm. When you get the blues. Thank you.
Another song from the failed audition.
Hey. Bésame mucho. Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. Bésame mucho. Oh, love me, my darling. Say that you'll always be mine. Something new, my arms enfolding you. Never knew this through before. Who'd ever thought I'd be holding you close to me, whispering it's you I adore. Dearest one, if you should leave, each little dream would take wing and my life would be through. Make all my dreams come true. tell you this joy is something new. My arms enfolding you. Never knew this thrill before. Who'd ever thought I'd be holding you close to me? It's you I adore. Just wonder if you should leave me. Each little dream would take wing and my life would be through. So bésame mucho. Oh, love me forever. Make all my dreams come true.
That's not too much to ask.
Yeah, love me forever. Make all my dreams come true. Yes, love me forever. Make all my dreams come true. Thank you. Bésame mucho.
Pennies.
It's a lovely old Bing Crosby song. I bought this little pedal for the guitar. It only has one knob on it, and I don't even know what that one knob does. Every once in a while, I feel compelled to go over and turn it.
Let us know if it sounds better than it did. Take a vote.
All right, how's that knob? Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains you find your fortune falling all the time. Be sure your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Find your fortune falling all over town. Just be sure your umbrella is upside down. trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you, pennies from heaven for you, pennies from heaven for you and me. Thank you. Nothing makes me happier than singing an old Bing Crosby song, that's for sure.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't have my mandolin on that last tune. I always apologize to the sound man when you're at fault. Let's do a Duke Ellington song, gentlemen. This is a song which boils swing music down to its essence. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
What good melody? What good is music if it ain't possessing something sweet? It ain't the melody, it ain't the music. There's something else that makes that tune complete. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is swing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Give that rhythm everything you got. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. a thing if it ain't got that swing. Don't mean a thing, all you gotta do is sing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Give that rhythm everything everything you got. Well, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Chua, 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 chua. Chua, 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 chua. Chua, 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 chua. Chua, chua, chua. Thank you. That's Peter Tillotson on the bass, ladies and gentlemen. He's a descendant of the great Tillotson fortune. Yeah.
Nearness?
What?
Nearness. Hoagie Carmichael's song. Am I singing this or are you singing it?
You can sing it.
Oh, may I sing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The nearness of you.
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me if you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me if you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel in the night the nearness of you.
minor swing.
This is a Django Reinhardt tune, probably his most famous song. Django was born as a gypsy in Belgium, and when he was 18, he was in a fire that fused his pinky to his ring finger, really giving him only really two functional fingers to play guitar with. But what he did was revolutionize the art of jazz guitar, and this is a tune of his called Minor Swing.
How can we top that? See, Billy left. It's in his contract. He knew this song was next. Now he's packing up his instrument. Nonetheless, it's a classic. It's an old rockabilly tune. It's about a guy whose girlfriend lives up on the 20th floor and the elevator's broken. So by the time he climbs up all those stairs, he's just too tired to do anything.
It was before
Kind
the
of a
days of
sad
Viagra
song.
and stuff. You know.
We're in a church. Those things. It's carnal. Right? It's called the...
It's so humid in here, my other clarinet was sticking like it happens if you're in August on the Boston Harbor doing a gig. The keys start to stick and it starts to stick here in the middle of what, January? It's really hard.
When it comes to rocking, she's the queen. Love to dance every Saturday night. All alone, I have to hold her tight. But she lives on the 20th floor uptown. The elevator's broken down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up on the 12th, I'm starting to drag. I feel the floor and I'm ready to sag. I get to the top, and I'm too tired to rock. She called me up on the telephone. She's coming over, baby, I'm all alone. I said, no, baby, that's mighty sweet, but I'm in bed with the aching feet. This went on for a couple of days, but I could not stay away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. Up on the 12th, I'm starting to drag. A 15th floor, I'm ready to sag. I get to the top, I'm too tired to rock. Hey! Well, she knows she can't go for repairs till it's fixed. I'm using the stairs. I hope you hurry before it's too late. I love my baby too much to wait. All this climbing is making me frail. I'm a cold straight over a railway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. Up on the 12th, I'm starting to drag. A 15th floor, I'm ready to sag. I get to the top, and I'm too tired to rock. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. Up on the 12th, I'm starting to drag. A 15th floor, I'm ready to sag. I get to the top, and I'm too tired to rock. I said, I love you, baby. I love you, but I'm just too tired. All right.
A couple more. Okay. You know, growing up, I never had a fantasy of being like a lounge singer, like Dean Martin, or your classic kind of tattooed, medallioned, shirt open to the navel, kind of wide collar kind of guy. And I still don't have that fantasy, but this song lets me briefly explore that, just for a second, in case I ever felt like I ought to have that fantasy. It's a song that Frank Sinatra made famous, right?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about you in the medallion.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary thought, really, kind of a repulsive thought, really, but anyway.
Okay.
Ted kind of introduced me to this song. I never heard it before, and I've always loved it. since I've heard it. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, or even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me, or even be cross, try to be boss, they wouldn't do. Nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Billy Novick on that horn. It had to be you. They know that. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, or even be sad, just to be glad, thinking of you. Well, some others I've seen might never be me, or even be cross, try to be boss, they wouldn't do. Nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Oh, wonderful you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Thank you for letting me. That was like therapy.
up, little Susie. Well, what are we gonna tell you, Mama? What are we gonna tell you, Pa? What are we gonna tell our friends when they say, ooh la la, wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Don't tell Mama that you'll be in by 10. Susie, baby, looks like we goofed again. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. We gotta go home. Well, wake up, little Susie. Wake up. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up. Well, it wasn't so hot. It didn't have much of a plot. Fell asleep, my blues is cooked. Our reputation is shot. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Well, what are we gonna tell you, Mama? What are we gonna tell you, Pa? What are we gonna tell our friends when they say, ooh la la, wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Tell your mama. What are we gonna tell your pop? What are we gonna tell our friends when they say, ooh la la, wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie.
Thank you very much, everybody. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for coming out tonight.
100 years from today. 100 years from today. We're going to leave you with one more song. It's been so much fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's wonderful, wonderful to be here. Our fearless leader, Eric Kilburn, on the mandolin. Steve Rose on the drums. My name's Ted Powers. Thank you. Peter Tillotson on the bass. Billy Novick playing the saxophone and the sticky clarinet.
It is amazing to play for an audience that is paying attention to everything that we do. It doesn't happen that much. We're waiting for like someone to come in with a cake that we have to play the cut the cake theme for, you know. And someone who comes up and says, "Can you guys play, you know, Summertime or something?" But
Free Bird.
Free Bird, yeah. Something we don't know or don't like, or both.
This is a song that was made famous by a great trombone player named Jack Teagarden, who was close buddies with Louis Armstrong. They used to hang out and smoke copious amounts of reefer together. And this is a tune called 100 Years from Today, which essentially is about we shouldn't get too worried about things because in 100 years, no one's going to know the difference. Yeah. All right, you guys ready? Don't save your kisses, pass them around. You'll find my reason logically sound. Who's gonna know you pass them around 100 years from today? White cleaver penthouse, fit for a queen. You're nearer heaven on Mother Earth's screen. If you had millions, what would they all mean 100 years from today? So just laugh and sing, make love the thing, be happy while you may. 'Cause there's always one beneath the sun who's bound to make you feel that way. The moon is shining, that's a good sign. Cling to me closer, dear, say you'll be mine. Remember, darling, we won't see it shine 100 years from today. Just laugh and sing, make love the thing, be happy while they. 'Cause there's always one beneath the sun who's bound to make you feel that way. The moon is shining, that's a good sign. Cling to me closer, dear, say you'll be mine. Remember, darling, we won't see it shine 100 years from today, from today. 100 years from today.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This is like the best time we've had in a long, long, long time. So thank you. It's wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think we can probably figure out one more. We'll play you an old song from the One of the sort of primordial rock and roll songs with a slightly feminist twist to it.
Boogie woogie. All right.
Let me just check to see what I'm doing. Gee.
I'll tell you, I'm so happy. I'll tell you a personal story because earlier this afternoon I was singing at a nursing home up in Woburn, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And the guy was sitting right in front in a wheelchair. I won't say exactly what he said because you shouldn't swear in a sacred place like this. But at any rate, I got into about 3 bars of the great Gershwin song, Our Love Is Here to Stay. I said, it's very clear, and he wheeled himself back in his wheelchair and screamed at the top of the lungs, get me the out of here.
You're a much better audience than that. Thank you so much.
So, this has been exceptional.
If anyone's interested in my CDs or email mailing list, they're over here on the table over here, so thank you for that. We'll leave you with this dance tune here.
Well, she better loafer shoes, dungarees, red checked shirt. If you please, my boogie woogie boogie, boogie woogie country girl. I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Well, she picks up cherries, she can milk a cow. She don't like squares, cause her daddy told her how. My boogie woogie boogie, boogie woogie country girl. I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. How ain't she dances, the kids gather around. They love my baby cause she really goes to town. My boogie woogie boogie, boogie woogie country girl. I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Let her roll. My boogie woogie boogie, boogie woogie country girl. I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. On Saturday night, she comes to town. She plays a jukebox, makes her hair on down. She's my boogie woogie boogie, boogie woogie country girl. I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Yeah, she better low for shoes, she wears dungarees, she wears a checkered shirt. If you please, my boogie woogie boogie, boogie woogie country girl. Yeah, I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. I said I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Yeah, I mean what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl.